Welcome to Around the Track, the most exciting 15 minutes in wealth management by Dynasty Financial Partners and hosted by CEO Shirl Penney.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Around the Track, the most exciting 15 minutes in wealth management. I am really excited about this episode of Around the Track because I'm joined by a longtime close friend in the RIA industry, Ben Harrison, who is Managing Director and Head of Wealth Solutions, meaning running both the RIA and the clearing business at BNY Mellon Pershing. Ben, thanks so much for joining us for this edition of Around the Track.
Thank you, Shirl. Really privileged to be with you, and I share your sentiment. It's great to do this together.
So I was thinking back as I was preparing for this conversation about all the meetings that we had before we even launched Dynasty. So you've been a good friend and partner for a long time and super appreciative. So if you've seen the show, you know there's really only one rule on Around the Track, which is we have to make our way around the virtual track here behind me.
And they're off.
In less than 15 minutes, I'm going to ask you 8 rapid fire questions, each one representing one of the 8 furlongs that makes up the mile behind me. So with that, let's break from the gate and break strong. Let me ask an easy one, Ben. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at BNY Mellon Pershing.
Sure. Thanks, Shirl. So I lead BNY Mellon Pershing's Wealth Solutions business, as you mentioned, and that is our RIA custody business, our broker-dealer clearing business, and our bank trust business. It represents over $2 trillion in assets under custody, and it's the largest business within Pershing. And I'm really fortunate to have the privilege to lead this organization. I started my career, a little bit about my background, started my career at Waterhouse Securities in the late 90s, got into the business. A family friend said, hey, listen, this RIA channel thing is a really cool emerging part of the business. Think it'd be a great place for you to start your career. And I, kind of happened into this golden opportunity of getting involved early in this emerging part of the business. And it's been a really great run. And I'm privileged to lead the organization today. And it's great to work with Dynasty as well.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And thank you for the incredible partnership as mentioned. You talked there and very casually about the incredible scale of the organization that you lead. You're one of the biggest players in the space. From the perch that you have, what has you most excited? What are you flying out of bed in the morning to get to work working on at BNY Mellon Pershing?
Yeah, so when I think about that, Shirl, I'm really privileged to have this role. And if you think about it, Pershing has been in business for 80 plus years. BNY Mellon is the largest custody bank anywhere in the world, over $45 trillion of assets under custody. Pershing is BNY Mellon's second largest business now, and we're the number one player in clearing and custody for broker dealers. We are a top 3 provider for registered investment advisors. In fact, we work with 30% of the RIAs with over $1 billion of assets under custody. And we just have this enormous scale and breadth and depth of organization. But what really gets me, energized and out of bed, as you say, is I feel like we're just getting started. We are, despite all of the history and where we are positioned in the marketplace, I really believe that there's so much that we have yet to accomplish and to really harness the power of the entire franchise to bring that to the wealth management ecosystem. So that's what's really cool about it. I feel like there's no other place that I could be to kind of have both sides of the equation, to have this big, robust, globally, systemically important financial institution as our backstop, but also be very entrepreneurial in building and innovating each and every day in order to really improve the way in which we work with the ecosystem, and have both of those is really cool.
All right, so I'm going to reverse that question on you just a little bit, because one of the many things that I enjoy, Ben, when you and I get together, is you're such a student of the industry. So as you look out, and you can pick the time frame, it can be over the next year, 3, 5 years, whatever time frame. What has you maybe a bit more concerned about what's going on right now in the industry?
Sure. So it's been a really difficult couple of years to navigate in terms of everything that the industry and the world has really thrown at all of us. If we think about it, we've gone through a global pandemic. We've contended with the challenges of return to the office, of a impending recession. There's a war in Europe that has not been easy to contend with. We've had interest rates rising. We've had a talent war around the Great Recession. So this is all provided a very unstable backdrop in which to run a business. So I think that as we think about that as the underlying foundation, navigating that in finding your path in terms of how you really think about growth and retention of clients on your platform, or as advisors think about it, clients in their book of business. Those challenges are hard in a great environment. When you kind of throw in this backdrop of uncertainty, that's probably the thing that creates the most amount of anxiety for me as I'm leading this business and thinking about how we help our clients, is how we kind of balance the need for stability with the uncertainty that the marketplace brings to us.
All right, so let's build on that then, right? So with the challenges that you just well articulated, oftentimes comes opportunity. And taking what you said earlier, again, given your purview into the space, working with some of the largest, more successful, in some cases sophisticated, independent advisors, what are some of the, I don't want to use the term best, right? But let's just say the ones that are growing faster, that seem to be acquiring new clients faster, that are retaining their clients. What are they doing in this environment to turn some of the challenges that you just again well articulated into opportunities for them in their business?
Yeah, and I think that you and I, Dynasty and BNY Mellon Pershing, we share a common optimal client profile, which is a growth-minded firm that is professionally managed, that really thinks about growing the business in a very meaningful way, and providing a great experience to clients and advisors. And so that's probably the baseline that we start with there, that professional management is absolutely a key in order to have success in this business. So that's number one. And then if you think about, you're right, I mean, the environment has obviously been challenging and created some items to navigate, but it's also created opportunities. Whenever there's challenge, there's opportunity, and for those firms to be able to leverage that. And what we see is really, kind of this common, thread run across businesses that are really successful. The first of which is talent. And I know that you and I have had a lot of conversations about this over the years, and you have always been so laser focused on finding the right talent in order to grow your organization. And it really is a critical foundation in terms of what we see in terms of a recipe for success for firms. So being able to recruit and retain the best talent in the business is absolutely key. Another critical focus is scale. And we see the largest firms growing the fastest and having the ability and the capacity for which to grow and take advantage of opportunities, whether that's organic or inorganic. And if we think about that organic, inorganic kind of mix there, I would say we see the best businesses probably leveraging both, and not only focused on one. So the first part of that equation is really having an intentional growth strategy. And it could be that you have a acquisition strategy, and with the fastest growing firms on our platform, we absolutely have seen they've taken advantage of the opportunity to do acquisitions and to grow inorganically. But they absolutely have an organic growth strategy as well, because organic growth is the absolute premium in terms of what valuation is driven by, and what really firms need to do to sustain the right type of longevity in the business. Experience is absolutely critical. You've got to be investing in your client experience. And that is, kind of a people plus technology type of strategy, and ensure that you've got all of those elements tied together in terms of what that looks like. And then finally, I would say it's having great partners so that you can continue to maintain the scale that you have in your own organization, but also be able to leverage other partners for scale. And I think that Dynasty is a great example of that too. And I've seen the way in which firms utilize Pershing and Dynasty through the years of working together to to expand that scale and get further expansion and growth opportunity.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Some of our largest clients of Dynasty are mutual clients and have been working alongside of Pershing for over a decade now. And I'm glad that you talked about partnership. We actually at Dynasty, we don't allow the term vendor. We don't have vendors. We have resource partners, right? Because partnerships are not sustainable for any period of time if everyone's not winning. So one of the I think most powerful parts of the whole RIA ecosystem is there are so many entrepreneurs serving other entrepreneurs and really focusing on winning together. So you talked a lot there about common trends or themes within some of the businesses that are winning disproportionately in this environment. But how about leaders, right, within those organizations? What are some common trends or things that you've observed about some of the leaders in those firms that are helping to pave the way to win disproportionately, given what's going on in the world around us?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think about it a lot, and I love to observe great leaders in this space. And there are many of them, but there are particular leaders that you follow and really think about in terms of their ability to be transformational and to really take the opportunities at hand and make something out of them. So we talked about the fact that it's been a really challenging environment, and what I've seen is leaders having the ability. Best leaders have the ability to kind of pivot and have a long-term view, as well as let's call it a medium-term view, but then also be able to contend with the everyday challenges that are popping up that we just talked about in terms of the environment. So as an example, I took over this business from my predecessor, a mentor of mine, Mark Pershing. You know Mark really well. 2 weeks before the global pandemic started, right? So we had a transition plan all lined up. We were going to go see clients together. We were going to go to internal meetings and the leadership governance together, et cetera. And global pandemic hit. We're all moved to home. And we had to totally change the playbook there and, really dig in a totally different way. That was a lesson for me in terms of you can have a great plan and all of the strategy laid out on a playbook in which to follow, but something could come along that you can totally have to throw that plan out the window. you still have your midterm plan and your long-term plan for the business, but you have to pivot and be able to accomplish what's right in front of you at that moment of time. So that was a lesson that I learned really early on in this leadership post that I have. I think another core attribute that I see in the best leaders is they're kind of going back to that talent focus. They're laser focused on talent and developing that next generation of leader, that finding the next person to bring into the firm that can be transformational, and not try to do everything themselves, but really leverage the team and develop the team. That's absolutely critical. And then at the end of the day, you talked a little bit about or ensued the idea of being opportunistic. I think that there's a certain type of leader that operates on their front foot and really leans in and sees an opportunity and goes out and grabs that when others might not have the fortitude to do so. Now, it's not to take undue risk. It's to really have the plan and know what you want to accomplish. And when there's an opportunity that comes along, be ready to take that opportunity.
All right. I love it, Ben. So now we're headed to the far turn, right? So we're getting ready to make the turn for home. We have just three furlongs left, right? So this is oftentimes where the race is won, so to speak. So we've talked about, and when I think candidly about BNY Mellon Pershing, I think about one of the largest custodians in the world. Significant, as you highlighted, focus on the whole independent space and independent movement, incredible deep product access, both on the credit, asset management side. I think about an organization that's investing significantly in technology to help empower advisors and provide, as we oftentimes call, synthetic scale. But where are you going over the next couple of years? Like where's the focus within the organization around innovation? What's out there on the horizon in terms of where you're taking the organization to really help empower so many across the whole independent ecosystem?
Yeah. So as I mentioned at the onset, in terms of what gets me excited, it's really this opportunity to unleash and harness all of the depth and breadth of capabilities that we have at our disposal. We're really fortunate in the space that we play and in the market share that we have with some of the largest and most sophisticated wealth management businesses. But again, we're just getting started in terms of our ability to continue that innovation. So our vision is really to be the premier service provider for wealth businesses and enterprises. And that really fits well into that optimal client profile that I talked about, which is growth-minded and professionally managed. So this concept of being able to support multi-location, multi-business line wealth management firms really plays really nicely into our platform capabilities. We have the ability to support firms that have multiple areas in which they're seeking to grow, whether that's their advisory platform, whether they have a need for trust capabilities, or they have their own trust company and are looking for opportunities to really have that consistent end-to-end experience for a wealth client that we all know there's a greater demand in which to from that investor to be able to go to an organization and be served in one common wealth organization, whether they have planning needs, tax needs, investment needs, access to alternatives or to balance sheet, or anything in between, in order to really be able to cover off on all of those areas. And we're really critically focused on that. Another thing that we're really focused on is the advisory platform of the future, in terms of bringing to bear our offering around Pershing X, which you may have seen out there in the marketplace. We're releasing Pershing X this summer at our Insight conference for prime time. And the need there that we've seen is the fact that there are multiple tools and technologies out there in the marketplace, but a lot of real friction in terms of those tools and technology working in an interoperable way. And that's something that we have viewed as an impediment for advisors to be able to grow their business as efficiently and effectively as they once that they may have the opportunity to do so. So we're laser focused on rolling out that solution, and we're really excited about that. So it's setting this strong foundation for service and the really a great platform, and then innovating on top of it in order to really harness the power of the entire franchise.
I appreciate that. So one of the leadership attributes of you, Ben, that I really appreciate and admire is you are what I would describe as a very proximate leader, meaning that you like to get out and spend time with your clients in their offices. We get to spend a bunch of time together when you're traveling as well. So I think that's fantastic. But I'd just like to ask you, when you're not around with your clients, what is your hope that your clients are saying about you and your colleagues and the organization as a partner to their firm?
That's a great question. And it kind of takes me back to one that you asked me earlier about great leaders as well, and the attributes that you see. And a lesson that I have learned is when you are seeking advice and counsel in terms of what you should do next as a leader, there's two things that you can do. Number one, you can go see clients, and they'll tell you exactly what you need to do. And it's refreshing, I believe, to be out there, as you mentioned, really meeting with clients and hearing from them, because that feedback is just going to inform your strategy and give you all the answers. And that's so important. The other thing that you can do is go talk to your employees, because they're going to tell you the same thing in terms of informing your strategy. So, that question made me think of that. So what would I love our clients to say? When I'm speaking with our clients, they typically tell me two really important things. One, they consistently say, we love your people. We know that the people at BNY Mellon Pershing are working extraordinarily hard for us. They're advocating for us. They have our back, and we love working with your people. So that's so critically important. The second thing that I consistently hear from our clients when I'm out there in the marketplace is that they feel alignment with our organization. We're the only firm really in this space that's a true business to business provider. This is our core business, and they realize that and they feel that alignment. I hear that from them. So that's when I hear when I'm talking to them. What I would hope that they would say when I'm not there is that we're delivering on those commitments each and every day, that they're screaming from the rooftops that our people are great, and that we're tremendously aligned with them, and we're innovating on their behalf each and every day. So hopefully it's consistent with when I'm in the room and when I'm out of the room.
All right, we've come to the last question, and this is the question I ask all the guests on Around the Track, and it's really tied, to the Triple Crown, which I actually believe this will be the last show of Around the Track that will air right in front of the Kentucky Derby. So I do want to go on record, since this will be well documented. My pick for the Derby this year will be Forte. Okay. Full disclosure, it's owned by some of my best friends. So if he wins, look for me in the winner's circle on the broadcast that day. But he won the Florida Derby. He's looking great. Maybe he'll be one of the favorites. We'll see. But the Triple Crown, as you know, for people in the horse industry, is that pinnacle achievement. It's out there. It's such a goal that it almost feels like it's unattainable. And whether it's the jockey, the trainer, the owners, the horse, the grooms, the whole team, right, has come together to work for this seemingly unattainable goal. So if you look out again into the future for you personally, Ben, what is your triple crown, right? That you're running hard and hoping to someday perhaps attain.
So I love that Forte. I don't know any of the horses running, so now I've got my lead horse. That's the one that I'll be watching. So I don't know a whole lot about horse racing, but I think that there's a term in exacta box or something like that. So maybe I'll go with two, which is the fact that we're really focused, as I mentioned earlier, on this concept of building out a platform service provider that can really provide a premier service experience for wealth businesses and enterprises. And one of the things that we're really focused on this year in that context is an internal project that we call Project Bravo, which is really focused on rolling out the next generation service experience for the firms that are on our platform. So that's really important for me, and a major focus of what our team is really rallying behind, because we have seen that there's an opportunity in the marketplace to truly differentiate on service. And we're really leaning in terms of what that model looks like, access to a dedicated service team, but also the ability to navigate into the experts that we have around our company, so that firms can kind of get the best of both worlds in terms of dedicated model, as well as expert access to those that can really help them with what they need to get done. So that's critically important. So that's kind of the first pillar of really setting that strong foundation. And then the second opportunity to kind of round out that bet is really the innovation that we're doing in order to complement everything that we have on our core platform today. So that is obviously rolling out Pershing X as a solution that we can take to our clients and give them a solution that is unmatched by any other in the industry. And also the incremental areas of investment that we can make to deliver the rest of our franchise to clients, things such as real-time payment and investment solutions that you talked about earlier, really allowing firms to get the full access to breadth and depth of our platform.
All right, Ben, as always, you're playing a little more chess than checkers, right? Using industry vernacular like the exacta to get two talking points in there as opposed to one. As we'd say in racing, you had the 1 and the 1A there. So well played, well done. Look, you have been, as I said at the onset, long time friend of not just mine, but Dynasty and all of our mutual clients. Perhaps more importantly, you've just been an incredible advocate for all independent advisors, whether they're in the independent broker-dealer arena or the RIA space. And on behalf of the industry, let me just say thank you to you and your partners at BNY Mellon Pershing for all that you've done. And really appreciate you joining us on Around the Track. And let me just say thank you to all of the viewers for tuning in for another edition of Around the Track.